All right. Well, we are live. Hello, Daniela.
Hi.
Hi. I feel so lucky to be sitting here with Daniella Gorman, who I was introduced to by a mutual dear friend of ours, whom we both love. And and I just in the short time we've gotten to chat over doing this, I so enjoying Daniela also very much. Um, so I am Carolyn Grabiel, and I'm one of the co-founders of the JabuMind app, which is our mission is self-care and support for teachers and school communities. And I am introducing Daniella Gorman, who is a school nurse, has been she's starting her 11th year as a school nurse. But if that isn't enough, she's also she also does all of the accounting for the Teachers Association for the large district that she works for. And she is also, let me get this title right. So liaison, so I had to jot this down. Well, Hoag Benefactor Liaison Nurse. So Lord knows, I think somehow you have more than 24 hours in your day. I'm not certain. Somehow you created more. I want you to tell me when we get offline how you did that.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Oh, shoot.
Yes.
Recipes. Okay. Well, and when we do these tea with teachers, we usually ask to bring a special, what your special mug is, or one of your favorites. And so I will say I brought this mug, one of our marketing director from JabuMind, and dear friend of mine. This is her company, and they recently sent out a big promotion for JabuMind through Renegade Racing, and sadly they've had to say goodbye to Renegade Racing through COVID. People can't go out and race, but they have made great new beginnings and are on to new things. And so it's a wonderful reminder of many fun races that I've done. And what about yours, Danielle?
Okay, so I have my mug right here. The flip side is Yosemite. It's one of my favorite places to go, and I've been there several times. But it's got the happy smile on it. Typically, if you see me, I'm smiling or laughing or, just having a good time or laughing at myself. So I figured this was appropriate attire for today.
I love it. When you hold it right next to your face, it does really match. You're smiling. That's great. Oh yeah, Yosemite is a beautiful place. So, this one reason we really are so thrilled to have you is that school nurses are so critical to a school, not only school and the students, but the whole school community and the parents and the teachers, just so integral. And so I wondered if you could kind of run us through your day or maybe I doubt you have a typical day. And if you want to sprinkle in those other roles that you play, that would be lovely too at Hoag. And
yeah, I think I was naive when I first started school nursing. I thought it was something that it's totally different. We are, every job, when you start your job, you begin, but there's so many different layers to what you can do and how you can go about teaching. And for me, the role of the school nurse it gets bigger and bigger every single year. Excuse me. So, there's no typical day. If I get to clean an injury on a student, that's wonderful, but we do so much. There's so many aspects to school nursing. We're part of that special education team. We deal with helping our gen ed students with their with things that they're doing, any kind of education that's going on with a student with a health diagnosis. We help to train the staff and teach them what that looks like. I usually make a list of 3 things to do each day, because I know that my day when I get to work is going to look completely different. So if I can accomplish those 3 things, I know I'm feeling good.
I think you should feel good if you get things that you've actually planned on done in the midst of that kind of and you're at 2 different schools now. You're not just at one school, right? So you are probably spread.
So school nursing itself, we have our caseloads, if you may, are pretty big. In our district, I serve a little under 2,000 students.
Oh my goodness.
And the high school nurses serve, under 2,500 students. Some of our schools that have students that have some more medical needs, maybe that school nurse only serves that school, maybe 500 students or 600 students, but it's still a pretty large caseload. So I travel back and forth between 2 schools. When I first started, I had 5 different schools. I had 5,000 students.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I can't even imagine doing that right now.
No, well, I'm sure even though things are, tell us how it's different right now. Kids are not in school, I don't think, in your district. I know they're not in ours. So how is it different? How is it more demanding? How is it less demanding? You still need to see people, I think.
Yeah. So, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat while we're live. What is going on?
As soon as we're not live.
Oh my gosh. So, while we're doing distance learning, the school nurse is really critical in all of the planning that we're doing. And so planning with ordering, with setting things up, setting rooms up, setting policy and procedure up, working with administrators. I've had more meetings with my principal than I've had ever in all of my years combined. Meeting with staff, reviewing everything. So, and then I'm starting to meet with parents now, and we just do Zooms, and I have my parent meetings. And so a lot of coordination and a lot of, setting things up for when we do resume in person. We haven't gotten the green light. So I don't know when that's going to happen, which is nerve-wracking in itself, just kind of waiting for when we're going to go back. But, we're going to be back eventually. Yes. And so we have to prepare for when we're going back.
Yes, yes. And the not going is hard. If someone could say, you're going to be back on July 15th or January 15th, or who knows. I guess we're all kind of learning how to live in the unknown. And
yeah, and I've realized I thought I was more patient than I am. I like to know, I like to plan. Maybe when I was younger, thought I was wild and like to live, whatever. Okay, if we can do that tomorrow. And I was so much more easygoing, but I want to plan. I want to mark my calendar.
It is somehow comforting. I mean, that's what we think, some blend of that, even just working in the job that I'm working in, just makes me keep going back to, okay, breathe. I may have thought I was in control at some point, but I probably never was. But this makes it really glaringly, uncomfortably, right up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I see we have a question on our screen.
We have a question. This is exciting.
Yes. Okay. Shall I read it to you?
Yes, please.
How can parents help teachers as kids go back to school? Teachers as kids go back to school, follow health guidelines.
Ooh, okay. How can parents help teachers as kids go back to school? Mm-hmm. Well, I think that parents can start having those conversations with their kids about what to do. And also figure out a way to, when you have that conversation, to have your child take ownership of why, like be invested in the why. It's not so much as, you could teach anyone to follow a rule.
Right.
You have to wear a mask to prevent the spread of infection and to prevent you from other people that you're around. But having your child understand why that's important and what it means if you don't do that, then they're invested in it, and maybe they're more apt to buy in and to want to do it. And
so
then
good advice. Yeah,
they've been away from their friends. They've missed their teachers. They've missed their classroom and what the bulletin boards look like, and just the structure of the day and lunch and everything. They've missed that so much. And so by doing all of these things, you get to stay here. You get to come to school. You get to stay. You get to be around your friends. Yeah, it's going to look completely different than it did, but you get to do this. And so I think that's what I would encourage parents to do. And then that's definitely going to help the teachers. If their parents have already had that conversation with them, that's definitely going to help the teachers.
And there's some intrinsic motivation rather than because somebody told me so. That's wonderful advice. Thank you for that. And that leads into, what do schools need to keep communities safe? But I think that extends.
Yeah,
that's you're safe in school. So I'll let you answer that. Too.
That is a there's so many ways I could go with that question. All right, let me think about this for 1 second.
Sure.
Schools need to have really clear guidelines for safety, and they need to train their staff. They need to spend the time to get everyone on board and not rush to do something. They need to practice and plan and strategize and educate and really work with their teacher community and their staff community. And by doing that, it builds some trust in the process. And then that can transfer into the teachers working with parents and the students and doing the education that's needed. Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for us to get back and to stay safe when we're back in school. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work. And so we shouldn't rush. We should do some planning. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we have seen that in some schools across the country that have gone back. We get a bit of a model for exactly what you're saying, and then if folks are not safe in school, and then they bring it home to the community. So yeah, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been watching the headlines like everyone has been. And so you see these college campuses going back, and then XYZ happens, and then the outbreak, and it just goes on and on. And so what I've personally done is then from that information, I've had conversations with my son who will be going to college. Okay, what do you think about this? And talking about it.
So the same thing with your son that you're saying,
right? What would you do? What would you do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They call it something in school. It's like a modeling, or talking about things, or making a plan for situations that maybe might make you nervous, or how to role playing. I don't know what they call it, but they call it.
There is a name for it.
There's a fancy name for it.
Sort of one. I it's close to that. It's something like that.
I'll call you at like 2:00 this morning when I remember it, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. I might be up looking at emails. Yeah, and so is staying safe during COVID. I know we were planning on talking about staying safe during COVID, which is what we just covered somewhat. Do you have any other tips that are, specific measures for ways to stay safe as students return?
Oh yeah. I mean, the basics. The basics are going to be, I think CDPH came out with a like a face, hands, and feet. It's like it talks about the three things that you should do. So I don't know if it was in that order. I have to double check. But washing your hands. So we have to wash our hands with soap and water for 20 seconds, or we have to sanitize. This is all like basic stuff. Mm-hmm. And not touching your face unless your hands are clean. So better just to practice not touching your face at all, because it's really hard. We touch our face so many times. And then, keeping that physical distance. So trying to provide as much space in between the next person, especially if you don't live with them. You wanna keep your distance. You can do things like get outside with good ventilation. These are all positive things to do to help. And then one of the most important things is going to be wearing a face mask. So wearing a face mask, wearing it all the time when you're around people that you don't live with, that aren't in your home cohort. Wear that face mask. You got to.
I don't hear it too much, Daniella. I really don't. I don't think it can be repeated enough.
Yeah, it can't be. And a face shield isn't the same thing. It's just it's not. It won't offer you the same protections as a face mask will, and it also won't provide protections for the other person. So the face mask, there's studies out there that talk about how face masks now protect the wearer, but they also protect the people that were around. So we're really being kind to our community members. Mm-hmm. And by doing those things.
Yes, keep them safe too.
Yeah.
So I really, one of my favorite questions of ours, and I looked up, it goes by so fast, you just chatting, is one, and the world won't fall apart if we're 2 minutes over, but we talk sort of about silver linings, silver linings that we found during this period of COVID-19 and being in isolation. Do you want to talk to that a little bit?
Gosh, there's been a couple. I've been really fortunate that I haven't been adversely affected personally. But there's a lot of people around me that I know that have been COVID positive, or their partners have been COVID positive. And so it's been hard. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to dismiss. I don't want my silver linings to I want to acknowledge everything that people are really going through.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
I think professionally, maybe I understand a need to be direct with people and to say the important things. Mm-hmm. Not to just fly under the radar, if you will, at my job.
Yes.
But speak out and to share and to help protect other people. I think that's my voice has been empowered almost. I feel a stronger sense of duty to be that advocate for kids and for teachers and for my colleagues and my staff and the staff that I work with. So that's a silver lining on that. And then, yeah, no, you go.
I was just going to say, well, speaking out protects. That we could tag that onto our how do we stay safe, right? I'd appreciate a mask or kindly, but however it is.
Yeah. And then I think personally, my son is going to college and he is leaving, and our lives were so busy. He worked and went to school and worked at night. And then I got up early, and there was so much time where we didn't spend together. And with the lockdown, we spent a tremendous amount of time together. And next week I'll drive him up to college, and I'll say goodbye. And
nice to have that more time with him.
Totally borrowed time. Completely extra time that I would have never had. I would have absolutely never had that. And so that was really special.
Silver lining. And I think it's okay with acknowledging the difficulties that have been for me, that it is okay and even wonderful to acknowledge the silver linings, for sure. So we're 1 minute over. We do have a question.
Should we hit that question though?
If that's a good one.
Is one mask better for different ages? No, I don't think so. They should just fit properly. So if your mask is just too big, it's going to fall down a lot. That's not good. So it should just fit, around the nose. It should cover the sides, and the strap should go around the ears, and it should be snug to where you don't have to keep moving it up all the time. But I don't know. I just touched my face 4 times. My hands were clean though.
But with a mask that's loose, you end up touching it, and which can be worse than not even.
I would say try a couple out. Try a couple masks out. And see which one works best. See which one your kiddo likes best.
Good. Oh, great. On that note of wisdom, it's been so nice to get another chance to chat with you, Daniella. And thank you so much. We're so appreciative for you taking. We didn't even go into your other 2 jobs, so taking the time. I can't say how much we appreciate it, and you for all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. This was fun. This was a lot of fun.
So
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Daniella.